Get all right, officially. Welcome everybody to another episode of the New Breed. You can find me going live every Monday for the IMCTV station, bringing you and broadcasting worldwide all of the IMC tribe. You can find channels just like you go on your Netflix channel and you select a movie. You're looking for a horror film, you're looking for a comedy show, you're looking for some sort of entertainment, right? Well, IMC TV is your new entertainment. But what are we bringing you? We're bringing you some real substance, some real knowledge, some real things to talk about to engage the mind into new forms of thought, to start to open up new ways of thinking, new ways of being, and new ways of expressing self. You see, the same things that you and I were taught, the same culture you and I were brought into, was a culture that was ran by pedophiles. What? Pedophiles? What are you talking about, Fernando? Pedophiles. Yes, this culture that you and I were raised in, the music that we listen to, the actors that we watch, the religions that people follow, these were created off a system that traffics men and women, little innocent beings, right? And it's a very sickening reality. However, it's when you start to put the light onto the darkness, you start to see clearly. And most of us were born into this life not being able to see. You see, we're born into a society, we're brought into an education system as a young child with no rational thought, right? We believed what our teachers taught us. Even our teachers growing up were teaching us the same knowledge that they learned in their education system, right? So in their mind, they thought they were teaching us the right things. However, if one of our teachers growing up from elementary school to high school to middle school, if one of them actually took the time to realize like, hey, the things and the subjects that I'm teaching these kids, it actually doesn't do shit in my own life. However, most of our teachers were just doing their job, right? And they came from the frame of, hey, I got to pay my bills and I got to teach what I got to teach. And so we grew up in that. We grew up learning some mediocre, we grew up learning some things that never really made a difference in our lives, because I don't know the last time I used the Pythagorean theorem in my daily life. I don't know the last time I used the quadratic formula to solve a life's problem. You see, the last time I looked at my life, I had some real goddamn problems I had to solve. And most of those problems dealt in the subjects with man and woman and how they relate to each other. First, starting off with my mother and my father, right? So take a look for yourself. Most of the problems that you were faced, if you just look at the top of your household, beginning with your mother and with your father, maybe you grew up in a household where your mother wasn't present. Oh, imagine how difficult that is for a young boy and a young girl to grow up in a household without the nurture and the love and the care of a mother. That must be very difficult for that being to succeed in this life. See, I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for my mother's love, if it wasn't for my mother's protection, the nurturing that my mother gave me. Man, that woman, I am blessed beyond means, because everything that my mother gave to me has allowed me, or has she planted the seed inside of me so that I can go out and properly love in this world. Now, here we are in a world that's trying to relate with other beings when in the beginning of our life, maybe some of you didn't have a father. If you're a woman who didn't have a father, man, I pray for you. You're growing up in a culture where you see women who are shaking their ass, shaking their tits, selling themselves for money, prostitution, the act of selling one's sexuality for an exchange of means, an exchange of money and a service, right? I remember back in the days when we were younger, right? We were young kids. It was such a, let's say you were talking to a pretty girl that you liked, and she sent you a picture because she liked you, and she sent you a picture of like, just a little angle of her butt, and you're like, damn, man, you guys won't even believe. This girl sent me a picture of the side of her butt cheek. Oh my God, I'm so in love. Now you go on Instagram and you see everybody's ass. I was on Instagram earlier and it popped up on my feed, and it was literally a post of just a girl's ass, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? Not even her face, just her ass. And I was like, dude, like, this is the world that we're living in. This is the society that's pushing this. Women in today's age are being taught that, hey, if you want to be a woman who makes money, who doesn't need a man, who's a single independent boss bitch, right? You go out there and you sexualize yourself. Why? Because it's a commodity, right? The world's going to exchange with you. People are going to like you more if you're out there sexually active. Well, let me tell you here, where's the mistake, right? Look, as a woman, let's take a look. You in this life were brought to planet Earth with the one gift that no man could ever bear fruit, and that's the gift of giving a child, right? Now, outside of that, outside of a woman's incredible ability to bring a child to this life, well, maybe someone's watching this like, well, my whole life isn't just to bring a child into this life. That's true, but your nature is, right? And I'm here to talk on nature's laws because that's how I live and that's how I operate, right? If I lived and operate off of societies and culture standards, we'd be a fucking mess, but that's not the case here. I want to live true to my nature as a man. And what's my nature as a man as I continue to discover more and more of who I am in my core essence and less of what I was brought up and raised into. You see, you and I, again, were raised in this society, and we got to start looking at our core essence, our core beingness. When we get closer to who we are as an essence by nature's law, we get closer to our happiness, this bliss. If you guys are on Instagram, jump on the link. The link is in my bio. Jump on the lectures on Zoom. Open this window. It's getting hot in here. Link is in my bio. Jump on. Everybody's over here. So today this morning I was listening to Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Shout out to Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, Jai Guru Dev. Thank you. And he was talking about the concept of everything starts at nothingness. And he used this beautiful analogy to describe, hold on one second, let me check my phone. Come to my door. Park in front of my house. Unit 40. Okay. He used this beautiful analogy to describe this concept, and let me share it with you guys. So he says, take a look at a tree, right? When we look at a tree, a full-grown tree, most of the trees right there, I see Camilo, he's right under a tree. What you see from the tree is years of evolution. That tree has been there and existing for a long time now, right? You see all the beautiful leaves, you see all the beautiful fruits, you see all the beautiful shades that this tree has now evolved into, right? But at some point, this tree with all the dimensions that it has, right? All the rings, all the crinkles, right? All the wrinkles on the tree, right? At some point, this tree was just a sap. It was a nothingness. It was a seed that then sprouted on its natural progression into a tree with different shades, different colors, different fruits, different leaves, right? Different size, different shapes, right? And so we got to take a look at our life because we've started to think, we have this idea, especially with modern day society, where we watch other people's life and we start to see their evolution. We see someone who's an evolved being, right? Maybe you're on Instagram, you're seeing somebody who's posting, I just made $1 million on yada, yada, right? And you're like, man, well, fuck, I want to make $1 million, right? Or you see somebody with like incredible abs and they're showing their body. Look, in just 6 weeks, you can get ripped like me. And you're like, fuck, man, 6 weeks? I can get like that guy? Damn. Or you see a girl post her big peach booty and you're like, oh man, I want to get that, right? All right, hold on. You see, we were sold and promised the same results of someone's evolution. But here, let me tell you this, just like that tree, that at one point was just a seed, and with natural progression, natural process, natural life, the tree then sprouted into having so many dimensions, right? So just like you are that seed as well. You and I were born with already the gift that we need. And so when you go back to nothingness, zero, he also gives an analogy that zero, if you want to, I mean, you got to listen to Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, because my words, they're just not the flavor of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. However, these concepts blew my mind because we're filled with so much nonsense in our lives. We have so much false data, so many false creations within ourselves that stop us or block us from expressing that pure potential that we are. You see, right now, you're dealing with your own mind and you're thinking, man, I got to have this or I got to look like that. Maybe if I had my real estate license, 3374, come right in. 1 second, guys, on Instagram. Jump, hey, if you're on Instagram, jump onto the lecture over here. One second. 1 second, guys. We got some screen time. All right. So let me go back to that concept of the concept that Maharishi, that I took from Maharishi today, is just like that tree. It started with the seed. It started with the sap. It was a nothingness, right? So you got to start again at zero, because we've built so much in our life. We thought we needed more to be more, right? We were sold these ideas that we got to have more in order to feel like more. You got to have this to be more. You got to have that new car, that new shoe, that dollar amount. You got to look a certain way. You got to be 6 feet tall to, have what you want. We were sold all these bullshit ideas that took us away from our natural gift. And so just like that tree that we find so beautiful, right? We look at the tree and we're like, man, this tree is so big. It has all those leaves, and that tree also bears fruit, and it has all these incredible attributes to it, right? You are that tree too. Now you got to take a look at where you're at in your life. You're at the natural process of where you're at right now. Now, how does this help you? Well, no, it's fun. How does this help you? Well, you got to take a look. First and foremost, you got to fall in love with your life. How do you do that? Like today, I was feeling like shit earlier. I was laying here like around 3 or 2 p.m. and I'm like, oh, my head is pounding. I'm feeling groggy. I'm laying on the floor, not feeling too good. But the minute I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go step outside and I'm going to go commune with nature. Communion with nature is a language that we use here in IMC. It's when you go out and get in communication with nature. Here's a secret, which is not a secret, but it's a secret. If you don't know, the secret is anytime you're feeling clogged inside, anytime your energy feels like it's being drained, let's say you're working at your job or you're in your room or you're at your house, and you just had a negative interaction, you had a negative conversation, or you're just feeling like your mind is about to explode because you're feeling with so much negativity, right? Try this practice. Go out for 5 minutes and go for a walk in your neighborhood. If there's trees, if there's birds, if there's nature, if there's sun, I guarantee after just a 5-minute walk, you're going to release a lot of that negative energy, that negative residue that was building up inside, right? And so many times people, they lose sight of these simple practices of just going out and getting some sun, getting out and getting some fresh air, some fresh breath. You see, these things are abundant. We think that we need an X amount of money. We think that we need an X amount of, I don't know, these vices, when nature is the only key. Nature is the only thing that you need. Recognizing that you have breath. How many times did you breathe in today? And we're aware of it. When you go out for a walk, try the practice. Go out for a 5-minute walk and just say thank you. Try it. Just say thank you. Maybe you're sitting in your car right now. Maybe you're at work, wherever you're at right now. Just practice saying thank you. Thank you for my ability to breathe. Thank you for my ability to walk. Thank you for the legs and the clothes that I have today. If you were able to talk to a friend today, say thank you for me having friends that I can have conversations with. If you have people in your life that love you, say thank you for having people in your life that love you. If you have a job, thank you for having a job. If you have at least $5 in your bank account, maybe you have $0 or you're negative. I've been there many times, right? Thank you for that. Why? Because it's your experience of life. Why are you walking through life with your head down because you're not fulfilled with your life? Man, it's your life. You only got one life. You got one life and you have your head down because you're comparing to somebody else. You're not the same tree. You start at the same seed. However, let the timeline of your life take place, my brother. Let the timeline of your life take place. You're going to go for a full hour or 30 minutes, brother. I don't know how long I'm going to go. I don't have a timetable. I just go until the words, are no longer pouring out of me and I feel like I have to push the message, right? And again, that's me falling into the philosophy of allowing just natural process, the natural flow of life take place, right? For as long as my expression is available, I'm going to continue to use this expression to speak. So take a look. You in the way you look, you in the way you designed yourself today, everything about you right now. At some point, take a look. At some point, you wanted to look exactly the way you look right now. At some point, everything that you're wearing right now, the clothes that you're wearing, you wanted to have that clothes at some point. Where you live right now, at some point, you wanted to live where you live. At some point, you wanted to be able to drive and have that car that you're driving. At some point, you wanted to have the confidence and the courage that you have at this point. So take a look. You got to appreciate these things about your life because we lose sight. We start to compare with other people's evolution and we lose sight of our own. We lose sight that this is our story. You lose sight that you only got one of these lives. What if I were to tell you that you're that one sperm cell and that one egg that fertilized? Out of all the billions of sperm cells and the one egg that ovulates a month, you were the one, you were the miracle. There's a miracle named Octavio. There's a miracle named Camilo. There's a miracle named Daniel. There's a miracle named Roque. There's a miracle named Marcelo, Sonny, and everybody here on Instagram, Kimberly, Fernando, right? And we're all sharing this experience right now. Now, in this experience, you in your impossibility of miracle that you are, what's your expression of life? Not their expression, not what the culture wanted you to be, not what society wanted you to be, not what your fucking parents wanted you to be, not what your friends wanted you to be. Your expression, what is it? What's your true voice inside? Who's there? Can you turn the fan on? I'm like pouring sweat over here. It's hot in here. It's hot in California. San Jose, California. Don't get better than that. So today, recognizing that there's only going to be one of you ever in the timeline of history. I don't know if you believe in incarnations or reincarnations. However, there's only going to be ever one of you, one identity, one version of you. Damn, why are you insecure? About what? You don't look good? Okay, then work on looking better. You're not happy with how tall you are? Okay, then fucking boo-hoo, bro. You don't have enough money? Damn, that sucks. Go work. You're too fat? Bro, do some push-ups. You don't like where you are in life? Oh, forget about it. Go for a walk. You see, we have so many complaints and not enough gratitude and thankfulness for our own existence. When this is the only existence that we'll ever have. This is the only moment that will ever exist. Right now, right here, and you're choosing to be here. Damn, dude, that's so dope. Like, if I really look at it, I don't know how long in this life we'll all know each other. At some point, one of us is going to die. At some point, one of us is going to go. And I hope that I get to know all of you guys at that point, like one of us is going to go. Well, shit. So while we're here, let's appreciate that. Hey, when I look at, just like when I look at the trees and I can admire the beauty of every tree and its perfection, I could look at another being and say, wow, they're another expression of God too. That's an expression of God. That's an expression of God. That's an expression of God. Why? Because whatever created this miracle of life created you and I too. And we play a puzzle piece in this big game of life. In our mind, we think that we're the biggest thing ever, right? In our own mind, we think that the problems that we have are the biggest problems, right? Too much credit card debt, not enough money, way shitty fucking family, shitty friends, shitty lives, shitty jobs, right? And all these problems start to burden our own soul. But then when we take a timeline out of our own life and we start to see life in an outer or an astral perspective, see outside of your life for a second. See the significance and the insignificance that you are in this life. In the sense that, what do I mean? If today you and I were to go, like today, let's say Fernando Caro dies tonight, right? Maybe it'll affect the people that know me. It'll affect a couple of people, maybe 1,000 people. I don't know how many people it'll affect. However, as time goes forward, in 100 years from now, it's no longer going to matter who Fernando Caro was unless my impression of my existence on planet Earth was so significant where I'm in the history books for lifetimes, then that's great. That's phenomenal. However, in 100 years from now, none of us are going to matter. We're going to be forgotten. Life is going to continue. The sun is going to rise. The moon is going to set. The stars are going to be out. And life will continue just as it does. And it's going to continue to play out because it's been playing before you and I were here, and it's going to play, long after you and I are gone. So from that extreme, I can't take this game so serious. I'm just a little puzzle piece in this whole thing. But while I'm here, I got to recognize that I'm the most significant thing. And you got to recognize that you're the most significant thing in your life because you're here. And life is nothing more than just finding out why you're here. It's not to be like him, be like her. It's to figure out, hey, what's my purpose here in this life? Is my purpose just to be here? Yeah, just to be here, 100%. Just be here. Not in your head, not thinking about all the things that you could do or wish you had and all the regrets and all the doubts. No, man, you're here right now. So just fall in love with being here right now. And I guarantee if you come from a place of, man, I'm so thankful I'm here right now. I'm so thankful I got friends. I got people to talk to. I got an opportunity to go make some money. I got opportunities to feel good. When you start to come from the place of feeling good, the world starts to give you everything that you've ever wanted. Because when you start to recognize everybody too wants to feel good. The lady at the grocery store, she wants to feel good. Your family, they want to feel good. Your friends, they want to feel good. So when you start to become the beacon of light, the transfer of good feeling, the world starts to reward you. It starts to seek out your light. So all day, what do you focus on? Well, let me use Michael Singer's words. Shout out to Michael Singer. Is all day focus on your energy level, your Shakti level. So today I was feeling down, right? I was laying here, I was trying to do my work, but I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't feeling my work. My energy was being suffocated. I was draining my energy. Something inside of me was leaking. And I was like, dude, this is not normal. This is not my normal state. I do not feel down. Feeling depressed is not your normal state just because you got used to it. Feeling upset is not a normal state just because you saw somebody be upset all the time. Feeling depressed is not a normal state. Having anxiety is not a normal state. You see, you thought that that's how you were because you lived like that for so long. But what's your natural state? Bliss, happiness, bliss and happiness. Why? Because, man, you're alive, you're here, you're breathing, you're a conscious being, you're existing. You have life, you have purpose. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be here. Everything in nature has a purpose. Everything has a role. Well, what's your role? I don't know. That's for you to find out. By what? By living, by being here, by recognizing, hey, first and foremost, I got to feel good. That's it. Let's say you're feeling bad inside right now. Start to feel good. How? In a million ways. Go for a walk like I did. I said, hey, I'm not feeling too well right now. I can't continue to perform. I can't do my job if I'm not feeling good. So what do I gotta go do? Go get in communion with nature. Go for a walk, Fernando. Why? Because you're gonna feel good. And what did I do? I went for a walk and I got myself some ice cream. Damn, do I feel good after? I was smiling, felt like a kid. I was at the park, feeling good. I ate 2 ice creams and M&Ms. I'm like, woo, boy, damn, does life get better? I don't know. But I do remember as a kid, that's all I wanted. Not good physically. Yeah, I didn't feel good physically. I didn't feel good mentally. I didn't feel good at all. My energy was being leaked. I don't know what was happening. And that's what tends to happen. When your mind starts to become in a negative state, your feelings follow, right? First, you get this feeling inside, and then it starts to transfer in thought. And then your mind starts to get negative. And at that point, you can put yourself in a very dark trap. Now, back to the beginning of this lecture, I talked about Maharishi talking about going to nothingness. You see, just like the tree that can sprout, and you start to see that the tree was born from a seed, so do thoughts. So let's say, for example, if I tell you, damn, mangoes sound so good right now. Mangoes with lime and chili, right? You start to think of these thoughts. Mangoes with, like, just think of the mango, you're about to eat the mango. See, but underneath all that thought of the mango, or you wanting a mango, there's the activity of driving to the store, then going to another store because they didn't have the mangoes, then driving to another store going to get the mangoes, then having the money to exchange because they don't have cash. So you got to go to the bank, right? There's a million activities right behind a thought. So when you go down to nothingness, when you go down to the seed of the soul, I'm using language that I learned from, the people I follow, the seed of the soul, the beginning, starting from zero, recognizing that a thought can lead to an entire infinite possibilities and probabilities. Today, I had the thought, at some point I had the thought, I'm going to start teaching every Monday called The New Breed. What I'm going to do is jump on and just talk from my life and my experiences. That thought then led to these creations every Monday, going on Telegram, posting the link, creating the link on Zoom. There's a lot of activities behind this creation. Then I speak and communicate to the world, and then the ripple effect into life takes place. Meaning with you guys, whoever watches this, whoever gets to hear these words, I don't know what the effects are going to be. I just allow the timetable of natural progression take place. And then you and I, we let life play its course. We let the understandings, the teachings bring us what's meant for us. I don't know what's going to happen after this lecture. All I know is that I just got to speak it. Today, I was listening to Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Now I'm here and I'm talking about his words and his teachings, trying to find the words or conveying it to the best of my ability to share with you guys the understanding that, hey, each thought, there's a series of actions underneath it. So let's say, for example, you're about to have a thought, right? If you're a guy, and it's a thought that doesn't serve your purpose, right? And underneath that thought, there's a million actions, there's a million possibilities and probabilities. We got to take a look and be very aware of our thoughts and our mind, because they do create, they do manifest. So if you want to this is again from Maharishi, if you want to manifest from if you want to manifest, you got to come from the unmanifested, which is, again, the seed of the soul, the thought. That's the seed. The seed is about to be planted in your mind right now. So for example, I'm not feeling good. So I put the thought in my head, maybe I should go for a walk. So immediately I get into action and I start going for a walk. Then I get the thought, damn, ice cream sounds good right now. It's hot. Ice cream's gonna be delicious. It's gonna raise my state of mood. So I walk and I go to the store and I buy ice cream. And then I buy 2 ice creams and I'm eating the ice cream, go to the park, then I'm having conversation, right? All these activities and actions happen from just a simple thought. But see, those actions then led me to come here and say, man, I feel good now. I can teach. Because the state that I was in prior to this wasn't a good state. I couldn't teach from that state. Now I have something to share. Now there's enthusiasm and excitement and life behind what I'm doing now. There's energy behind it. So take a look for your life right now. Maybe you want to go work or make some money, you have a business idea, or you want to go talk to a girl, or you want to approach somebody. How are you feeling inside? Take a look. What's your state inside before you do the activity? What's going on internally? Because that's going to create the ripples into the universe. This is a universe of vibration. What's your vibe right now? How are you feeling right now? Even internally right now, I'm shifting. I could feel it. I'm slowing down. This is me teaching, excited, enthusiastic. Now I'm calming down. Why? Because if I want to create a better effect, a more calming effect, notice that if I speak like this and I change my pattern, put more pauses in my communication, as I slow down my communication, you're going to begin to feel better. The other communication was building excitement and enthusiasm. I was speaking from that place. As I slow down my vibe, add more pauses, there's a feeling of goodness in here. A feeling of calm, a feeling of safety, a warm feeling, a feeling of being at home, by the fireplace, light jazz music playing in the background, red wine, in a firewood cabin, right? I could create that vibe, but see, our language and our vibe creates conditions. So let's say if you want to start to create your conditions in life, start to recognize what place are you coming from? What's the quality? What's the flavor of your communication? What do you sound like right now? What's your vibe inside? If I'm going to go do some business deals, I want to come from a place of enthusiasm. I want to be excited about my product. I want to be excited about my services. On Wednesday, I have an appointment with the seller. When I speak to my seller, I want to come in as an authority figure. I want to come in as someone who's excited about their life, excited about their work. I love what I do. When you show up to life, you love your life. When you meet somebody, they feel your enthusiasm. They feel your life, your vitality. They feel your energy. When you show up, you're not this dim, dark person who's depressed and emo and shit. Nah, dude. If you want to repel life, then do that. But if you want to have light gravitate towards you, life to amplify around you, you start to be this beacon of expression, of good feeling. You're the dopest dealer there is, a dope dealer of good emotions and good feelings. You can share laughters and share smiles, share positive interactions, make people light up inside. And how do you do that? With your words and your energy exchange. So try it today. If there's any practice out of this conversation, is take a look inside and start to see what's the feeling, what's the vibration inside. That this vibration inside is going to create, is going to manifest from the unmanifested. So if I don't want to ruin my life, I got to shift my vibe. If I'm feeling dark and heavy and gloomy inside, how about I take on a practice, going for a walk, going taking care of yourself, go eat some ice cream, go for an exercise, go for a walk, do things that make you feel good, anything. And as you start to feel good, start to transfer that good feeling into the world and watch how you start to feel. So much of why we feel so dim all the time is because we're not engaging with life. We're not exchanging enough. You have a lot of stuff inside to share, but you're not exchanging with life. First, you got to feel good with yourself. Once you feel good, you can go exchange and share with life. You see, money follows in exchange. Loyalty follows in exchange. Love follows in exchange. Exchange of what? That very same thing that you're seeking. If I'm seeking, let's say money, money is a means of an exchange of what? Of my services, of my value. You bring value and service to another being, that in reciprocation is going to be money. It could be anything else too. Right? You do a good job, a good service, a good deed for people, it's going to result in money. That's the bound exchange. It's the currency. If we look at the word, it's currency. It's a current. If we look at current, current is electricity. Current, you know, if you want to bind electricity together, you put the currents together. Once you have electricity, electricity, it's positive and negative. Now there's flow inside. What is debt? It's dead money. Debt. It's dead. You want currency in your life. So how do you start to build and accumulate currency? Well, again, you start from a clean place inside, an innocent place inside, a good feeling inside. When you talk to people, talk from the place of you're warm, you're friendly, you've known them for a long time, you're a kind, good being, you're a good being, you're a good person, you're caring. How do they hear that? Through your sound. So first and foremost, look inside. What do you feel like right now? Do you sound like a good being? Do you sound like a caring being? Or do you sound like an arrogant asshole? Do you sound like a dark, gloomy person who's depressed? What's your sound? What's the flavor inside? Okay, all right. I'm gonna end here on Instagram. Every Monday, the New Breed calls. You can catch us on Instagram Live or on Zoom, all right? I'll see you guys soon. And also reminder, July 16th and 17th, Dating and Relationships Bootcamp in San Francisco. 2 days in San Francisco, live and online. You're gonna wanna be there, teaching all things relationships and dating. If you're a guy watching right now and you're single, you need to fucking be there. And if you're in a relationship, you definitely need to be there. All right, be the best and fuck the rest. See you guys. All right, can you post just the New Breed, same hashtags, all that good stuff? Oh my God, my legs are asleep. Okay, cool. Do any of you guys have questions? If not, we'll just end it here. Senor Roque, he always got questions. What's up, man? Dude, my feet are so numb right now. Nothing? All right, everybody. Cool. Well, if you guys aren't doing TM, I highly vouch you guys do TM, man. This thing is unreal. Gets better and better. And study. One thing, if you're doing TM, watch a lot of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. It's not easy to study him. However, go on YouTube and then put the captions on and you could read. So part of my morning process is every morning process, I watch hella Maharishi Mahesh Yogi videos. On YouTube, there's a lot. So just start watching him. And what you start to hear are the concepts of his teachings. But most importantly, you start to pick up on his vibe. You start to get that energy exchange with Maharishi. You get a feeling of what he feels like inside. And that's so important because that's going to take your TM practice to another level. All right, everybody, I got to get going. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Os.